Welcome back to Group Leader Training. I'm Luke Holder, and I'm super excited about this journey that you're on, continuing to grow into the disciple maker, the group leader that God is calling you to be. Today, in our session, we're going to talk about group-centric growth. And what does that mean? We're going to be covering God's heart and calling in this session. We're going to be covering group leadership support and owning the invitation to other people. We're going to talk about making a list and starting to pray over it. And then last thing we'll talk about is the excellent ask. When we talk about God's heart and the calling about being a group leader, there's 3 verses that I just want to remind you of. The first one is God's heart that none should perish. We see this in 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. But then we also see within the Great Commission that God calls all of us to go and to be disciple makers, really. He says, go and make disciples of all people. And then the last verse that I really think of in your role as a part of this is 1 Corinthians 11, chapter 1, which says basically to imitate me as I imitate Christ, or to follow me as I follow Jesus. And so much of what it is that you're going to do as a group leader is going to be just modeling that which you've already experienced and inviting people to get to do that with you. So here you are in this session, you heard those verses, you want to live that out, you want to step up and be a group leader. You're thinking, I want to do those things, but I'm not alone, am I? And no, you're not going to be alone, as we've got some other group leadership that's going to come alongside and help you do that. But I do want to tell you some ways that we will be supporting you. One of the first ones is with our group launches. Every single year, we're going to have 3 big on-ramps at the beginning of the year, heading into the summer, and then heading into the fall. Just as that flows kind of naturally with people's calendars, and it might be a different time for them to jump into something different. And now, in addition to that, we're going to invite people throughout Growth Track. And so here we call that Encounter Connect. And as a part of that, people are going to hear why they should be in a group. And they'll be supplied, what are some groups that are getting ready to launch? Or what's a group that I can already join? In addition to that, we're going to go ahead and highlight all of our groups every single time that we do a men's or a women's event here at church. And with that, you're going to get a great opportunity to get to meet some people and to go from there. And then the last thing is, as you decide what group you're going to be leading in terms of the content for your study, then we can help supply you with some people who haven't gone through something like that before, so that it might be a great next step for them to be able to do that. You're still going to have to put yourself out there to meet some people, but in the midst of that, you're going to hear, hey, these are some people who haven't gone through this before that could maybe be a really good ask for you. So one of the first things that you're going to have to do as you think about launching a group is that you're going to have to create your own list of people, of who it is that God has put in your life that you want to invite to be a part of this with you. There are people out there who will come to a group specifically because you are the one that's leading it, or you are the one that invited them to come to it. And so start making a list of your friends, your family, the people you see in the community, maybe people you work with or you have shared hobbies with. But as you do that, start praying over that list and asking God to show up in those relationships. Now, once you've been praying over that list, it's going to be time to invite the excellent ask. And with that, you've already been praying for these people. And so start right there and let them know, hey, I have been praying for you. And beyond that, in your times of prayer with them, or just as you have gotten to know this person, you've probably identified something about them that you think coming to your group is really going to add value to their life. And so speak into that. Start off by saying, again, that you were praying for them, but then speak into how your group and the content of that study is going to add specific value to them. So you say, hey, I've been praying for you, and I've noticed how you're trying to do this right here. And I think that this study that we're going to be doing in our group would really help add value to your life, and fill in the blank from that right there. Now, once you have done that, try to give some options of times that you could actually talk a little bit more about it, so that you aren't just the very first time that you have a conversation with them, inviting them to your group and just kind of leaving all the pressure on that. Instead, invite them to a follow-up conversation where you can intentionally talk about what's going to happen. So again, with that, you would say, hey, I've been praying for you. I've identified this in your life. And within that, I think that the group to study the content of this would be really helpful and add value to you. Would you be able to meet at this time or that time to be able to talk more about it? And once you've done that right there, man, just like think about all of the different things that you get invited to in your life. If somebody would present it like that though, it's a little bit different. And so as you enter into inviting these people, I just want to ask you to have confidence as you do that. Because again, it's not just you and your relationship with them. However, we're talking about them growing in their relationship with God. And so, like, if it's God's will for that to happen, which we know that God wants people to grow to know him more, it's really just a matter of if the timing is right. And so I want to encourage you not to take it personal as you do that, but instead cast seed far and wide around that. Don't get your feelings hurt if people don't say yes. But whenever you come into it with that sort of excellent ask, they're saying no to more than just you when they say no. And that, to me, that relieves a lot of pressure off of my own shoulders to know that, hey, they're not saying no because I'm Luke. Instead, they're saying no because of other stuff that's going on. And that sounds like more of a spiritual battle. And so I'll continue to pray. And then the next time that we do that, I'll probably come back around and ask them again.